Hello everybody, what's up? RezenatorZen here. I'm doing the video because I have the time and I have the place. I'm a science guy. As I've said before, I'm a science guy. I never claim that I'm a scientist. I just think that your assumptions and your preconceived notions of the world should be based on some kind of science, not on a 2,000-year-old book. But that's not what creationists believe. And fundamentalist Christians. Christians believe that the Word of God in the Bible is what happened, and that's what really happened, not the cock and bull story that we present as scientific persons. Now, this is the difference between creationist and fundamentalist Christians and scientific persons. Scientific persons can say, okay, prove me. Show me proof that God exists. The Christians and creationists will say, well, you're breathing right now, and this is too complex to happen through happenstance and chance and through natural selection. That's our proof. Scientific persons will say, oh, well, we have evidence of evolution. We have evidence to the contrary to your fiction novel. We have evidence proving that evolution is the key creation story that should be believed because we have evidence of intermediary species between when we were first coming out of the ocean, the primordial waters. We have evidence of them transforming from aquatic to amphibian to land mammals to the closest ancestor between us and apes. There's a common ancestor between them, and then we have the intermediary stages between the ancestor and how we are now. We have fossils that give that timeline. In the Bible, there is no evidence. There is no proof of an ark. There's proofs of books. Books, yeah. There's proof that there were arks. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. There's proof of boats and proofs of floods, but there's no proof of a gigantic flood, and there's no proof that Noah existed. There's no proof that Jesus existed. There's no scientific proof that the Jews were enslaved in Egypt. Now, if there was proof, I would believe it, but to the best of my knowledge, there is no proof. But religion is not based on reason. Religion is based on controlling people and irrational beliefs. Science is based on the scientific method where you conduct an experiment with a control and a variable, and you make a hypothesis as to what you believe will happen, and your hypothesis at the beginning can be refuted by the evidence, and you thus have to change your hypothesis to what is actually stated as the result. That's what I like about science, because there is new advancements, there's new scientific advancements, there's new technological advancements, all due to science. Because people test out their theories and it becomes a hardened fact. But there's still evidence. With evolution, there's refutable evidence in evolution and science. There's refutable proof. There's not irrefutable proof that evolution actually. There's no irrefutable proof anywhere, because every evidence can be refuted through technological, medical, or scientific advancements. We may be able to find fossils somewhere that show an intermediary stage of human life that has not yet been discovered, and that is potentially falsifiable. But we can test that bone, we can test those fossils to see what time period those were created around about, and we can then say this was either falsified or it's truly an intermediary step between this and this. And that's why I gravitate towards evolution and science, because it's refutable. There's evidence that's refutable. It is an ever-changing state of being a scientific person. Your world is changed by medical advancements, because you either follow you if you follow science, there's so many offshoots that you can follow: medical, technological, and just plain scientific. Just plain scientific advancements. It's an ever-changing, it's a fluid organizational thing, where it's not just like religion, where it's a static, stagnant state of being. Science, things are changing left and right with new evidence that comes and is presented to us. There's more. It's I would rather have a fluid, exciting experience in life than some stagnant, static source of life that this is what we have to believe, even though there's no evidence, and we just stagnate there. And that's what people do with religion. They just stagnate because nothing ever changes. There's never any proof. But science is alive. It is here in the present. It is in the here and now. It's based in the here and now, not in the past. Although there are some sciences, like anthropology, that are based in the past, but they're not based on the past from a book. They're based on actual living, well, not living, but people that were living back then. There's fossils. There's evidence. I mean, there's evidence. And with creationists, they say that if one thing's wrong with something, then the whole thing has to be thrown out. And they hold that bullshit outlook to evolution. Just because some things don't add up now, they say, oh, throw out evolution as a whole, because if this is wrong, then all that's got to be wrong. But that's not true. One thing can be wrong in science and evolution, but then someone could come up and explain that with a new scientific find. I think I've made my point that religion uses bullshit thinking to look at evolution, and uses that same bullshit logic to disprove evolution. But evolution says, I have evidence, where's your evidence? Prove me. And that's what skepticism is. It says, prove me. Show me evidence. Show me refutable evidence that God exists. Show me evidence. Show me. Instead of, here's a bullshit story. They say, give me scientific, peer-reviewed evidence. Give me that evidence that God exists. And that's the conflict. Religion is irrational, and scientific wants answers. And you can't get answers from an irrational person. Peace, love, harmony, and see you guys later.